17 News at noon begins with breaking news.
It was absolutely terrifying. We just stood there.
Terrifying moments at a high school in Santa Clarita after a gunman opens fire, shooting several students. Good afternoon, I'm Alex Fisher. We begin with that deadly school shooting in Santa Clarita. It happened around 7:30 this morning at Saugus High School in Santa Clarita. That's about 80 miles south of Bakersfield. Here's what we know so far. A 16-year-old girl is dead and 2 other boys are in critical condition after a gunman opened fire at the school. That's according to Henry Mile Hospital. Officials say another patient is in good condition. And we know that one student and her mother had to say, we're hearing about what one student and her mother had to say from our reporter from our sister station at KTLA.
You won't let go of your daughter.
No, I'm scared. It was very scary. We ran, we heard the one shot and then 4 after, and we just started running, and just all I heard was all these kids running and just screaming and calling their parents, and it was very sad.
Did you call your mom right away?
I called my mom as soon as I it was safe enough to get by the neighborhoods after I ran after those people, and I was telling families that were trying to drive to the school that it wasn't safe yet because he was still there, and I was just running, and then I called my mom as soon as I got to the neighborhood. And it's just not going to forget it.
The Los Angeles Sheriff's Office says the gunman was a 16-year-old student at the school. Today is his birthday. Officials say he shot himself in the school's quad and is in grave condition. They say the gunman used a .45 caliber semi-automatic pistol. This is a developing story, and we will continue to update you throughout the day on our social media pages. You can also download our 17 News app to receive the latest breaking news alerts sent directly to your phone. And we'll have more tonight coming up on the news at 5. Well, there's a sea of red, white, and blue this morning as students from several schools line the streets to pay respects to a local fallen Marine. 17's Vanessa Dillon joins us live at Union Cemetery, where the World War II Marine's remains will be laid to rest near his mother. Good afternoon, Vanessa.
Good afternoon, Alex. We've been following Private Livermore's procession all morning, and now we're here at Union Cemetery where a press conference is set to begin, and his remains were actually just brought here about a few minutes ago. I want you to go ahead and take a look at this press conference that has been happening right now. It just started, like I mentioned, a couple minutes ago, and we're expected to hear from several state leaders, including Republican Senate Shannon Grove, and we're also going to be hearing from Livermore's family alongside several other war heroes here, several veterans who are ready to just pay their respects. And, I want you to go ahead and take a look at some video from earlier this morning. We got to see the opportunity to essentially talk to Saugus High School students as well as OLPH school students, and they also were a part of an emotional celebration here honoring the war hero, and it's been an emotional journey for the family of Private Livermore after the Bakersfield native was killed in combat 78 years ago, and his remains have now just been brought home. Livermore was an East High graduate killed in 1943 in the Battle of Tarawa during World War II. His remains were found in a mass grave and identified in July. Now today, a procession for Livermore was held and ended here at Union Cemetery. And teachers and students alike were eager to be a part of such a monumental ceremony this morning.
It's important because of history, so that they can understand. A lot of them have family members and people in the community that they know that are veterans, so this just gives them a deeper understanding of what that is and how special it is.
So as we mentioned, this is clearly a very monumental moment here for our community, and we're going to give you the very latest on this press conference as well as hearing from Livermore's family later on at 17 News at 5. But for now, reporting live in Union Cemetery, I'm Vanessa Dillon. I'll send it back to you, Alex.
All right, let's take a look at your forecast now with Kev.
And we're looking at a pretty nice day. We've got some clouds out there. Those will be streaming in throughout the day. Just high clouds, nothing along with it, and picking it up on satellite and radar, but nothing on radar. Just, again, seeing some of the high clouds pushing off to the east. We will see some clearing as we go throughout tonight. 75 for the temperature right now. We have a northwest wind at 12 miles per hour. And as we take a look at the temperatures throughout the afternoon, we'll be in the upper 70s and then slipping back into those 50s after midnight. And then for the mountains, 73 in Tehachapi at this time with a light southwest wind at 3. And as we take a look at the numbers, you can see lower 70s this afternoon, but then we're back into those chilly 40s as we head into the late evening hours. I'll have much more on your forecast, and that's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Kev, thanks so much. Human remains found in Mojave back in June have been identified, and it matches the identity of a man who was abducted from Southern California last year. Now, you're looking at video of the scene in Mojave from June. The skeletal remains were found at Cache Creek Road and Highway 58. The coroner identified the remains as those of Rauchen Liao. He was also known as Tony. The information from the coroner matches the FBI's report of a 29-year-old who was abducted last year in July. 2 men were indicted in that missing persons case, but authorities believe the suspects fled to China. The sheriff's office did not immediately confirm the remains belonging to the missing person. Frightening moments for 2 people in Oildale as they say 2 masked men forced their way into the home. One of the people inside was shot. It happened on the 400 block of Ray Street. That's near McRae Park. The sheriff's office says 2 people inside the home claimed they were victims of a home invasion. The victims say 2 men wearing masks broke in and demanded money, then hit one victim in the head with a shovel and shot the other in the lower body. Both wounds are not life-threatening. KCSO says it's early in the investigation and there is no suspect information at this time. Well, still ahead, the CDC is sounding the alarm. We're back with details as superbugs are becoming a major concern in the nation with fatal consequences. Welcome back. Superbugs are already scary, and now we're learning even more are becoming drug resistant and killing people. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said in a new report, every 15 minutes someone here in the U.S. dies of superbug. That's outsmarting antibiotics. That's about 35,000 deaths each year. 5 drug-resistant superbugs are now on the CDC's urgent threat list. Here's the good news. Superbug infections in hospitals are down. But the bad news is dangerous infections caught elsewhere have increased. Elderly people are typically at risk, but health experts say anyone can face a deadly risk. All right, let's take a look at your forecast one more time with Kevin Charette because we've got a little change in the forecast.
Yeah, we are going to be looking at some cooler weather as we head into tomorrow. Outside right now, we've got some high clouds, as we talked about earlier this morning, but still making for a pretty good afternoon. Unfortunately, we still have that haze out there as well due to the air quality issues. We've got 75 degrees in Bakersfield, 72 in Delano, 74 out in Buttonwillow, and then for the mountains, we've got 60s and 70s. Tehachapi at 73, 79 for Lake Isabella, and Ridgecrest at 71. Some high clouds and a little haze out in Arvin, currently 78 there. Wasco, some clouds and 72. And then also up in the mountains, some high clouds, and they're in the lower 70s out of Golden Hills. It's all because of this little band of clouds that is pushing through the state right now. Once this exit, we'll see some clearing skies by tomorrow. And if you're wondering what the little orange outline there is, we've got a high surf advisory along the central coast. San Francisco also has a little bit of a haze, 61 degrees out that way, and an easterly wind at 3. Here's a look at Futurecast. Picks up the high clouds. This will, again, move east. We get a little bit of ridging after tomorrow, so we get the cool down. And then next week, we're going to be watching things very carefully because this is Wednesday right around noon, and the models are now suggesting we've got some snow into the Sierra, and look at this, maybe a little bit of wet weather into Southern California. Will it make its way closer to Kern County? Well, it's about 7 days out, but we'll have to watch it because we may get lucky, at least in the mountains, and we could really use it because the latest drought monitor came out today, and we're right here in the dry range of the drought for California. So we were out of a drought. Now we're kind of in that dry period because of the lack of rain that we've been seeing. Here's a look at the forecast today. Some high clouds, 76 in Bakersfield, 75 in Delano, Taft at 74 for the mountains and the Kern River Valley. Today, we'll look for a mix of sun and cloud, 67 in Frazier Park, 69 in Tehachapi with 70s into the Kern River Valley. And then for the desert, southwest wind 10 to 15 and mid-70s for Mojave, right near 80 in Ridgecrest. Your extended forecast tomorrow, I talked about that cool down. A high of 68, and then warming up a little bit by the end of the weekend into Monday with temperatures near 80. And then next Wednesday, right now, we're just going to put the clouds in there in mid-60s. And then for the mountains, we did introduce a slight chance of a shower next Wednesday. We may bring that up depending on these latest model runs the next couple of days. Again, it's 7 days out, and the models sometimes just aren't in agreement with each other. But you can see a little cool down tomorrow and then warming you back up by Sunday. And then for the Kern River Valley, tomorrow, 72 and comfortable, then right near 80 for Sunday and Monday, but another big cool down coming next Wednesday, and a slight chance of a shower there as well.
Hey, we'll take it all.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks, Kev. Well, still to come, the Bakersfield Marathon is on Sunday, and they could still use your help. We're back with some special guests to talk about the event and to remind you how you can still volunteer to help. Welcome back to 17 on Cent. Joining me this afternoon is Patricia Marquez and David Milano here to talk about Sunday's Bakersfield Marathon. Yes, you heard me correctly. It's happening on Sunday. Yes. I can't believe we're already talking about this.
I know.
Where did the time go? I feel like we were just talking about this not too long ago. Well, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So you still need our community's help because it takes a lot of man and woman power to put this marathon on every single year. Talk a little bit about how you guys rely on our community to put this whole thing together.
Yeah, Patricia?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the community is vital.
Yeah.
We have our runners, of course, and we love our runners, and we want more runners, too. But really what we need is people to help us keep the course safe, to take care of our barriers, make sure they're not moved, make sure that cars can't get in, make sure our racers don't take off the course, which is a bad thing, right? So, our course monitors is really where we could use some help, and it's important. They're important, so we want them.
Let's just remind people how long a marathon is.
Yeah.
26.2 miles.
Yeah, 26.2 miles.
That's a lot of safety that we need.
I was going to say, that's why it's so crucial for you guys to have people sign up to become volunteers, and you're still looking for some people to really volunteer for Sunday.
A handful more. Most of the positions at CSUB are filled. It's just those course monitors. And they get to be on the course and rooting and cheering on
like
the
a front
runners.
row seat.
Well, it really is. You get the backstage pass to the
Right.
event, which is pretty fun.
We always say it's a backstage pass.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Okay, so again, you've got runners from all over the world,
Yes.
really.
Yeah, 16
Literally.
states and 3 countries, the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and India this year. Last year we had a Japanese runner and someone from Ethiopia, an elite that came to join us. So
And they're coming here to Bakersfield.
They are?
So we need a good welcome crew, really. So I mean, even think of it as that way. They're looking for course monitors, but think of it as you're representing Kern County, you're representing Bakersfield, and they really need your help to of course, make this thing possible. Where do they need to sign up?
runbakersfield.com, and there's a volunteers tab there you'll find, and you'll see all sorts of positions outlined. You can choose what part of town you may want to volunteer in.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll post all that information on our website, kget.com. Bakersfield Marathon happening on Sunday, and they really need your help. All right, we're back with more after this.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back, and behold, it's the cereal we didn't know we needed. Twinkies! That's right, the 90-year-old golden cream-filled sponge cake will soon hit shelves in a new form. You'll be able to enjoy it in smaller bite-sized pieces with milk. And if you're looking for a sugar fix in the morning, this just might be it. The new cereal comes more than 6 years after a Twinkies shortage gripped the country. It will be available nationwide starting late next month. Well, what would you think if we gave you a creative way to save on turkey with all the trimmings and much more this holiday season? And what if we said you could feed 10 people for under $30? It may seem to be good, too good to be true, but NBC's Vicki Nguyen is going to show us how to stretch our budgets during the holidays.
'Tis the season of giving, and this year consumers are expected to spend more than $1,000 during the holidays.
Ready?
33-year-old Katie Hernandez, a mom of 2 from Southern California, is showing us how to save on the year's biggest meal.
You're telling me we can get an entire holiday meal for $30?
For under $30 for 10 people.
That's right, turkey.
And we're looking for it to get to about 49 cents a pound. And then when it does, you could stack that with other coupons.
And all the trimmings.
The next thing that we're going to buy is going to be stuffing. These are going to be on sale for just $1.29 a box.
Cranberry sauce, green beans, all bargain buys. The moment of truth?
We landed at $29.03. Nailed it.
Okay, there we go. Couponing to most people means saving 50 cents off of a can of soup. To me, it means saving 90% or more on every aspect of things that come into our home.
How do you make that happen?
All of it ends up being what I like to call the perfect storm.
This is Katie's perfect storm. Let's use wrapping paper as an example.
Wrapping paper retails for $10. It's on sale for $6. She has a manufacturer's coupon for $2 off. She gets $2 back through a store rewards program. Then she uses a mobile rebate app. That gives her another $2 off.
The total cost for this wrapping paper? Nothing. It's free. The best part, Katie's method can be applied to anything.
And technology is tempting a new generation of coupon-savvy savers. More than 90% of millennials use coupons. And by 2022, Digital coupon redemptions are set to total $91 billion.
What has couponing done for you and your family?
It's taken us from broke college students to living in a tiny little one-bedroom apartment to be able to completely pay off our debt, put down a down payment on our home.
And how much have you saved to date?
I started couponing in 2011, and I've saved about $50,000 or $60,000.
Katie says she spends about an hour and a half a week planning and researching, and she has a stockpile of beauty and household products in her garage she's accumulated for free, just by striking on deals when they're hot. She's even started a blog, Couponing with Katie, to share her tips and tricks.
Do you ever pay full price for anything?
No, nothing comes into the house that doesn't have some kind of savings on it.
If someone wants to start doing this, especially if they want to save and have extra cash for the holidays, what's your advice?
I'd say the first thing is to have a plan. If it's not on your list, it doesn't go into the cart. The second thing would be smartphones. Everything is really moving digital now. And the third thing is stockpiling. You want to make sure that you have enough product to last you until the next sale is going to come around.
And with her Thanksgiving meal in the bag, Katie's ready to tackle gift giving next.
So with a little bit of planning and know-how, it's that easy to get this meal.
That simple.
All right, that was Vicki Wynn reporting. Well, they're designed to the final rest, or they're designed for the local resting place for local servicemen and women. And up next, how organizers need your help to get involved this year. Welcome back. Volunteers are needed to help lay thousands of wreaths at Bakersfield National Cemetery. Every year, the local Civil Air Patrol unit invites the public to sponsor a wreath to be placed at the headstone of our servicemen and women. This year's goal is 5,200 wreaths. The wreath laying is December 14th in partnership with Wreaths Across America. It's a nonprofit whose goal is to remember the fallen and honor those who've served. To volunteer or sponsor a wreath, you can go to WAABakersfield.org or call 360-1899. The deadline is December 2nd. The busy week continues for Circle 17 after the food drive yesterday. That's because tomorrow you can join us for the 10th annual Heroes in Helmets to help support local Make-A-Wish kids. Heroes in Helmets brings firefighters, wish kids, and their families together with our community for a day of giving. Make-A-Wish grants wishes to children who battle critical illnesses to bring them some happiness during a very difficult time. City and county firefighters will also accept cash donations outside our station and at the intersections of Olive and Knudsen and Mohawk and Rosedale all day. And Heroes in Helmets is happening from 7 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. You can also join us for a drive-through lunch between 11 a.m. and 1:30. $10 gets you a deep pit sandwich, chips, a cookie, and a water. So we hope to see you there. All right, we're back after this. Welcome back. We have an update before we go on that breaking news that we told you about at the top of the hour. We have another sad update to that shooting in Santa Clarita. As we've been reporting, a teen student opened fire inside a classroom at Saugus High School this morning. It's about 80 miles south of Bakersfield. Officials say he shot 5 classmates before turning the gun on himself. Officials have now confirmed a second student has now died in that shooting. The gunman himself is said to be in grave condition at the hospital. He is 16 years old. Today was his birthday. And, of course, we will have more coming up tonight on 17 News at 5. So you can download our 17 News app to receive the latest breaking news alerts sent directly to your phone. This is still an ongoing situation. We're still receiving information from law enforcement officials and as they continue to investigate this shooting that happened, again, earlier this morning down in Santa Clarita. Again, that is about 80 miles south of Bakersfield. So, again, more coming up tonight on 17 News at 5 and 6. That is all for 17 News at noon. Thanks for joining us. Again, we'll see you back here tonight at 5.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.